Welcome to the 2014 BIAK Brain Ball, a night to celebrate, educate, and honor. On this Parisian night, we pay tribute to our doctors, donors, and brain injury survivors like Mary Varga, who inspire us all. She's a beacon of hope, a light of inspiration to us all. It was Mary who inspired the creation of the Brain Ball a dozen years ago. A UK grad, she's always been an avid runner.
And I was always a runner.
Mary ran in 2 New York City marathons, and she always dreamed of pursuing a career as a personal trainer. She got married and left Louisville for Little Rock.
I had just had a little boy. He was 3 months old, and I was kind of starting a new life down there.
The future in Arkansas looked bright, but that new life was about to take a sudden turn. May 10th, 1997.
To tell you the truth, I can't remember that day.
In the blink of an eye, Mary Varga's life changed forever.
I was on my way to a party over at a friend of ours' house. It was just in the next neighborhood. And we came to this intersection. I had the stop sign, and I started through it. And this teenage boy just came zipping down this hill that didn't have a stop sign, and he T-boned me. And the next thing I remember was being in a hospital.
Mary spent 2 months in a coma. Critical care for 6 more weeks.
I didn't remember I had a son. I had a hard time getting over the devastation that I could no longer do anything that I'd done before.
Life had robbed Mary of most everything she had known.
And it just a thought, God, my life has not become this. This is not my life. I mean, when my husband divorced me, which was about 3 years later, I mean, obviously I felt very abandoned. But in a way, looking back at it now, I could say this, in a way, I feel like it was God taking me out of that horrible situation and putting me back someplace where I could start growing again and doing Mary Varga things again.
Faith lights the way to Mary's recovery. It's stronger now than ever.
I thought I was, a good religious girl before, but the big difference between that and what I've gone through now, I mean, it's like God is just somebody that's right there with me all the time. And I can see His hand every day in life. I mean, the fact that you all are here today, I just feel like He's saying, way to go, you're doing a good thing,
A lot of folks are saying way to go to Mary these days. To many, she's a godsend.
We admire her so much.
I just love doing this.
She's become a personal trainer after all.
It is a dream come true.
She's running her own business called Silver Strength, conducting exercise classes for seniors.
Senior fitness was probably the best way to use what I've been through to help other people. The exercises that I'm doing to try to regain my mobility are the same ones that they need to be doing to hang on to theirs.
I mean, I can move, and it's because of her.
Better than any medicine you can take. It really is great.
I'm getting a little bit
Through her silver strength, Mary is giving to others what life had taken from her.
And they just need to keep the muscles moving, the joints moving.
Moving bones that have been moved for a while. We sit around and complain about our aches and pains, and I have never, ever heard her complain about anything.
I love her. I just love her to death.
And as much as Mary is giving these days, she's also found she's getting a lot in return.
I just never realized how much joy you could get from bringing joy to somebody else.
This year's Mary Varga Award winner discovered that too.
Social work was the logical choice for me.
He's Hank Buckwalter, a survivor who's dedicated his life to helping others.
What really sets the Mary Varga Award winner apart is the fact that they give back to other people in some way.
Hank Buckwalter is giving back in a big way. In fact, he's making a career out of it.
He has chosen to use what happened to him to be a voice for other people.
He's turned his trauma into a tool to help others recover as remarkably as he has.
Hank has done so much, well, particularly in his job as a caseworker, working exclusively almost with brain injury survivors.
That wasn't the course he had originally charted. After high school in Louisville, Hank moved to Virginia Beach, living the life of a surfer.
Well, life before was pretty good.
He was pursuing a path to politics, working toward a poli-sci degree at Old Dominion, but a bike ride home from work one night changed everything.
Fell off my bike and my head hit a curb, and I had a blood clot develop the size of a fist that squeezed my brain for 36 hours.
The next day, Hank was home alone and unknowingly just hours from death.
Luckily, right around the 35th hour, my neighbors came over. They immediately knew something was a little different about me. So my neighbor called his father, who just happened to be a doctor. His father told him that I probably suffered a brain injury and he should call 911. I was within 2 hours away from dying. All my organs were going to shut down if I wasn't operated on.
After surgery, life began again.
I had to learn how to walk and talk again. Everything changes, and I don't think a lot of people take that into perspective. Every relationship you have changes post-injury. Your relationship with your parents, your relationship with your wife or husband, your relationship with your bank, your relationship with your landlord, your relationship with your job, co-workers.
Eventually, Hank would come home to Kentucky, getting a degree at U of L. But he was still learning about himself.
I see that you've come so far.
I had it a lot better than a lot of survivors. A neuropsychologist told me that I could be drinking my dinner out of a straw, and kind of made me feel a little bit more fortunate.
Well, I won't give up.
I tried to figure out how I could help people and make a living doing it.
Get rough.
He followed his calling back to U of L and got a master's in social work.
A great way to help people would be through social work, and then I started working towards that. So.
From there, he worked with brain injury survivors at Kaleidoscope Day Center and lobbied in Frankfurt, speaking for so many who cannot.
I am Hank's #1 fan.
Mary Haas is BIAK's legislative advocate.
Hank was very interested in working in Frankfurt and working on advocacy issues as it related to individuals with brain injury.
A lot of people that are in the brain injury field have academic experience and professional experience. I have those two, but also have personal experience too.
And Hank had that unique ability to be able to tell his story in about a 3 or 4 sentence, and also to relate to legislators why the issues surrounding brain injury were important.
As a brain injury survivor himself, Hank brings a unique perspective to both lobbying and counseling those in need. He calls it his wild card.
Someone would pull the "you have no idea what I'm going through or what's happened to me," and then I'm able to kind of pull that wild card and let them know that I kind of do. Luckily, I don't have a lot of the superficial indicators that somebody has a brain injury. Luckily, I had a really good neurosurgeon that made sure that the 6-inch scar I have on my head looks like it's my part.
It's been a long road, and his journey continues. But through all the clouds, Hank has certainly found plenty of silver linings.
It's led me to this moment right here with you. It led me towards the career and profession of social work. It's given me an outlook on life that a lot of people don't experience. And it's pushed me and empowered me to help other people.
Nowadays, as the Assistant Executive Director of Expanded Horizons, Hank is helping children and adults with developmental disabilities of all kinds.
Autism, primarily, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy.
He's working in the spirit of Mary Varga, inspiring us all.
Hank is a role model to other individuals with brain injuries. I think he gives them hope.
I think Hank is more of an inspiration than I am of me.
We have a saying here at the Brain Injury Alliance that a positive attitude equals recovery, and I think both Mary Varga and Hank really represent that statement.
Let's all congratulate the 2014 Mary Varga Award winner, Hank Buckwalter.